Hi guys, it's Rachel here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do today. Oh yes, I am. I watched a video by Fiona J. I sent her that page that I made the kit for the other day, and I watched some of the entries that she got for her fabulous journal that she's going to make in her giveaway. And I saw another little idea there. It's kind of similar to things that we've already done, but I quite liked it. I can't remember how it was decorated, but I like the base of it also. I thought we'd have a play with that. And also I haven't been keeping up with my comments on Instagram, but I just was sitting down now having a look and commenting, you know, saying thank you and that sort of thing, as you do. And on the one that I posted, and now I don't normally address these things, negativity and nasty comments, but this one, well, I mean, it mildly irritated me. I felt a sort of a bit indignant about it, but it's more, I find it a bit funny, to be honest. But normally I don't answer, but I did answer. I'll just read you I won't show you the person's name. I'm not going to a couple of my lovely subbies already answered her. I only just saw it. It was a few days ago. She wrote, I don't want you to see her name because that's not what I'm about, but she wrote, "Why do you all do the same? It's hard to tell you apart as you copy each other. Be yourself, branch out. Geez, it's just copying." Now, what do we all think about this lovely comment that I received? I find it quite hilarious. And normally I don't answer, but I did. Well, I wasn't going to answer, but I asked Lulu her opinion and she pressed post. So it's posted. I wrote, "Wow, if you knew me, you would know I'm totally myself," and I put a big smiley face, and then I wrote, "When you post something, let me know. I'll be over to copy." Not. That is my answer to that. I hope she takes it in the right spirit. She obviously had plenty of time to spread her negativity around, so I'm kind of happy that I answered that one and didn't ignore it. I don't know why we always feel like we have to ignore things, but I feel like it's probably advisable to ignore things and not engage in a battle. I looked at this lady's Instagram. She doesn't post anything, and which to me is, if you're going to be negative to people, you want to be out there doing videos and posting. That's all I can say, because you're secretly there copying everybody else and not telling anyone, number one. And so I try not to pay too much attention to anybody who's not putting themselves out there. So yes, I just thought that we could have a bit of a laugh about that one today. I found that really funny. So anyway, we'll get on with this job. So you can see I've got my little book page here. I fold this up to create 2 pockets, and this is just going to fold over and close like that. I also, I'm sure lots of you follow Shabby Dabby Doodah Tina. She's lovely, and she put up a video yesterday about, she gets a lot of men, I think, well, I don't think she gets a lot, but I think she gets some criticized quite a bit. I mean, I get silly comments, things that sort of make, well, they're just like, they're not necessarily probably in the spirit of being mean, but they affect you. Like you ladies have noticed that I've obviously had some sort of comment, because then it affects me in the next videos. I'm like then aware of what's criticism or complaint I've had, and not like, they're not normally complaints like said in a mean way or anything like that, or you know, but they do get taken on board, let's just say that. This, now I feel, you know, even though I'm not too upset about this comment from this lady, although it's mildly irritating because I feel like it's unjust. You know, collage is collage. I mean, I like collaging, so I want to decorate my pages, and it's obviously going to look similar, isn't it? So, but I don't copy other people's collaging, and I certainly look at other people's work for a base to collage on, of course. I mean, I'm not Superwoman. I've got a limited amount of ideas. I'm doing a 100-day project, for heaven's sake, and I do need to find a base somewhere to work on for the day. But I certainly am pretty sure I haven't copied anyone's collaging, so she needs to get over herself, this lady. If you're on my channel, you can go elsewhere if you don't like what I do, seriously. And the funny thing, that's what I was going to say. I went and had a look at who she is following, and she's following all people that do collage, for heaven's sake. Of course it's all going to look similar. It's collage. I mean, how different can collage look? You can have collage with straight lines. You can have collage with torn lines. That's about the biggest difference I can see. So if you're going to follow a whole lot of people that are doing collage, I think it's all going to start looking the same. I actually enjoy seeing a million different types of collage or similar collage. So I don't know what the lady's problem is. She's obviously having a bad day. But I wanted to address it because I felt like her comment was unjust. And she hadn't commented like that on anybody else's, just mine. So I don't actually know why she follows me. She's still following me. She should unfollow. That way you won't be bothered by my copying. Unfollow. Oh, and post something before you criticize other people. That's what I've got to say about that. Anyway, yes, so anyway, I was very saddened that Tina has been having, she's self-doubting herself. And this is what happens. This is when you put your negativity out there, people. You make, the people behind the camera are humans, and you make them doubt themselves, and you make them feel nervous in the next videos, and you're coming along and soaking up their ideas and getting, free inspiration, which is, and we're all happy to do that, but, be nice. That's all I can say. Be nice about it. Don't have anything nice to say. Don't say anything at all. That's what I teach Lulu, and that's what I try to live by. If I don't like something, I switch it off and move on to something else. That's it. Okay, so I'm on my high horse. I've got to get off it. I'm off my high horse now, and I'm going to get on to collaging. It's good therapy for me, and I can forget about that negative woman. Right, so I've just decorated my front without even thinking. Look at that. That just happened without a thought. I'm using all these pages that I had left over from when I made the little project for Fiona, and yes, I thought I might use up these pages, and I'm just going to make this little pocket sort of booklet, and I've sort of started without even thinking about it, and I've probably done something in the wrong order. So I bet you've never heard me rant and rave before. Well, you don't want to get me on that thing. If I start ranting and raving, you won't be able to stop me. I really get, when I get going, that's it. Anyway, oh, I had a funny story. Let's move on to something nicer. So basically, actually I wrote it down here. It's in my garbage bin. Just a second. Okay. So Stefano, my hubby, he's very funny. He has one of his best friends who's he's a very nice guy, but he's hyperactive and a bit out there as a person. And he's a singer. And so we went to see him sing on the weekend. It was his birthday. And we were having a giggle because my husband's best friend came down to stay with us for the weekend from Modena because it's hot, and they went off to the beach and all that sort of thing. And so he's known our friend for a really long time as well. And our friend is, he's a little bit of a stinge with his money. Like he's got plenty, he earns plenty, he doesn't have a family or anything, so he only needs to spend it on himself. He's saved heaps and all that sort of stuff, so he's got no reason to be stingy, but it's just the way he is. It's just, he was brought up that way, his parents are like that, and so we know that's just the way he is. He has other good qualities, and so, but I mean stingy, like not like he has to go out and pay for our dinner, but like when we normally with our other friends, when we divide the bill, we usually just divide it by the number of people, and just, like if there's 3 of us, we'll pay 3 times whatever it is per person, sort of thing. I think that's pretty normal. We don't worry about who ate what or whatever, because it sort of all evens out in the end. And so anyway, we were giggling in the car as we were driving down to the restaurant where he was playing music, and our friend was saying, because he'd gone out with this other friend of his, and he had the friend had been really stingy and not wanted to divide the bill between, like, he'd been really stingy. He didn't want to divide the bill between, like in half, because there were two of them. He wanted to pay his own, and so our friend got offended. He doesn't realise that he does that every single time. And so he'd been telling my husband about it. My husband was giggling because he does that all the time. And he didn't say anything to him, but he just had a little bit of a giggle. And so as we're driving down, then we decided to go on to lunch. And so we were on Sunday at the beach, and we were saying, and our friend from Modena was saying, he's going to, we should tell him that we're just going to divide the bill by the people, and you watch, he'll say that he wants to pay for his own. And the thing about it is, he'll, on purpose, he doesn't realize that he does it, but on purpose he will order less to save money. And then what he does is he'll eat everybody else's. Can I just taste that? And he'll just finish off your lunch or dinner or whatever it is for you. That's what he does. And so we were giggling and saying, we'll tell him that we're not doing that. We're going to divide it by people, whatever. Because we've done it one time we were laughing because we went to pizza with him and he wanted to pay for his own. He ended up paying more than if he just divided it by the five of us, because there were kids there. I mean, the kids, yes, they ate as much as the adults did, but they don't drink. So, it actually would have worked out cheaper for him just to divide it by all the people that were there, because there were a lot of us. And he ended up paying more than what he would have had he divided it anyway. So anyway, we went to pay, and he actually would have saved €1 if he'd paid by himself. So he then agreed it was much easier if he just paid, if we just divided it all. And so that was that. But then my husband was talking about it that evening, and he was talking about another occasion that this had happened with this guy, and he said in English, he's tight like a butt. And I said, tight like a butt, what do you mean? And basically he had translated from Italian. He wanted to say he was a tight ass. Tight like a butt in English, he said. Yes, so sometimes Steffi gets a bit confused with his expressions. Sorry about that, guys. It's a bit of a funny story, but yes, that's what he said to me, tight like a butt. So that tight like a butt means tight ass. Excuse the expression. So anyway, we love him all the same. It doesn't matter. We know why he's like that, so it's not a problem. As long as you know what to expect when you go out with someone, then it's all fine. I really don't know what I'm doing today. I'm sort of off my thing a bit. It's hot, and and you know what else happened to me is when it gets really hot and humid, I get this reaction in my fingers, like under my skin. I get all these bumps and they're itchy. And last night, I usually only get them like on 1 or 2 fingers. It's just at the beginning of the season, then it calms down a bit. Anyway, I had them on many fingers last night, and they were really itchy. And I said, my husband, I better have one of your antihistamines, because my husband has to have antihistamines every other day because he's got some kind of allergy that travels around in his system, and they can't find what it is. And he's had it for he's actually had it for 16 years, and they can't find what it is. So he has antihistamines every other day. That's why. Now I know why he's so tired, because I woke up this morning like a truck hit me. They really knock you about, those antihistamines. So I'm feeling a bit groggy today, and so my brain is not functioning. And I let it rip at Lulu because I went to the courier and I went to the supermarket, and I came back and she was still lying around in her bed looking at her telephone, and I really let her have it, the poor thing. She burst into tears. I felt so bad. I nearly burst into tears. So yes, it's a crazy day here today. I don't know. It's a crazy day. I don't even know what I'm doing. Maybe I won't post this video. Maybe I won't do it. Oh, well, I quite like it. Maybe I will post it. You see, negative comments make you doubt yourself, make you not want to do things. Why? Why? Why do people have to be nasty? Oh, I've got some Gayle here. I'm going to put that right across there, I think. I really like that. Gayle, this is beautiful. I hadn't even had time to study your pages. I've just been slowly using them up. I'm going to have to go and print them all again. Also, I get quite a few comments, just to go off track, as you do. I get quite a few, not comments, questions. You might get nervous when I say I got a comment. I get a few questions like, what papers do I print on? So, how do I decide what papers do I print on? Because you all know by now I print on copy paper, 120 GSM sort of presentation sort of type paper, and 160 gram copy paper, cardstock. Well, it just depends what I think I might like to do. So sometimes I might print like the same file. I might print it on all three types of paper, because, for example, something like this, I could look at this and think, well, this would be a really nice tuck spot or a pocket. So then I would print it on 160 GSM cardstock. Or I might think I want it to be slightly more detailed than what it comes out on the copy paper. So I might print it on presentation paper. So and in this case I knew I wanted to collage with this, so I'm printing it on collage on just regular paper, because first of all, I like the texture of the copy paper for writing, and not that I do any journaling or anything like that, and second of all, it's less bulky. So so I like to print it on, it depends what I want to use it for. If I'm thinking I'm going to use that exclusively for collaging, then I'm going to print it on copy paper. If I think that I want it to be, I'm going to use it for collaging, but I'd like it to be more sort of crisp, if you know what I mean. As a printout, it's slightly more crisp and the colors are slightly more intense on the presentation paper, so then I'll print it on the presentation paper. With anything that I want to fussy cut, I have accidentally printed them on copy paper. It just makes it flimsy and harder to cut and harder to manage and harder to glue if you print it on the copy paper. So if I remember, I try to print it minimum on the presentation paper. Minimum. Probably, yeah, mostly I would print it on that paper. Because that way it gives it a little bit more, strength and resistance when it's printed. When you've got to cut it out. Yes, that's it. So basically here, I now need to stitch down my pockets. You could glue them down. Got my pockets here. I just thought it was a really cute little idea. I mean, I'm sure we've done this sort of thing before. I haven't even told you anything that I'm doing. I'm just doing it today. Isn't that pretty? So these are just leftover papers from the kit that I have in my shop that I had made, absolutely the leftovers from the project that I have the videos for when you buy the kit. And it just, I mean, that kit, you can use it not just for the project that I did Fiona, which was like this is the project here. That just, like, there were lots of these papers left over, so, or these trims, we only used 2 of them. So oh, they're in the other room. I wanted to show you what I did with them. So anyway, I can throw that comment that Steffi said, that was so funny, out. Now I might just get my sewing machine over, or will we do another one? I really like that. Gosh, that's pretty, Gayle, that trim. So pretty. So yes, I really do like that. Now let's just, and I actually, from my projects the other day, I actually did a few more, but silly me, one I sent off in a package just as a thank you gift to a client, because she buys a lot, and I just wanted to thank her. And the other one I put in a journal and so you haven't seen them. Oh, run out of thread. Well, that's clever. So anyway, I don't know. It's a crazy world out there, isn't it? I think people must be really grumpy. There must be a lot of grumpy people out there, I think. I might link, for all of you lovely ladies that do videos. Oh, good, Lulu. I linked this video. I love this lady. I can never remember how to pronounce her name properly. Her name is Sunny Lenarduzzi, I think. She might be of Italian origin. She lives in Canada. She actually is, she's got a consultancy sort of business. She helps businesses use YouTube to grow their business. And she's a bit of an expert, I think. And so I don't watch all of her videos, but I like listening to her ideas. I don't actually apply any of them because that would be all too much for me. Just a sec. So anyway, I did watch a video a while back of hers, and I mean, she's a super pretty lady. She's super successful, so she probably, even more so than I would, gets a lot of haters out there. And so she wrote, she did this video on how to sort of deal with negativity, rejection, and the haters. And her fifth point especially really resonated with me. So I'll link that video out there. I'll put it in the link in the description box below. I linked it to Tina yesterday because I felt like maybe it would help her a little bit. In my logic, it helps me a little bit, but obviously if someone's not nice, it does, even though you know you're supposed to ignore it, it doesn't. It's not like water off a duck's back, unfortunately. It's just not possible for that to happen. But what I normally do is just delete the message, don't address it, and in a couple of days I've forgotten about it. Except for this one on Instagram, it's the first time I've ever replied. Well, I wouldn't have actually, but Lulu pressed the button, so it's out there now. Anyway, I'll link the video below because I think it's very clever video. And the other thing that Tina was saying, and a few other ladies worry about that sort of thing. I don't really look at my statistics. I don't really understand them, to be honest. Exactly, how they're calculating and that sort of stuff. I just don't worry about. That's not. I don't know. It's not really why I put my videos on YouTube. I just put them there for fun and to offer something to everybody. And I'm obviously so grateful that, with the enormous kindness and generosity that I've had from everybody, it's just been amazing. But I'm not there fixated on, I'm not looking really, fixated is not the right word. I'm not really looking at whether, I'm getting thumbs down or... So unfortunately for those people who enjoy giving the thumbs down, you're not getting much satisfaction with me because I don't actually even really notice. I don't ever go and look at my video statistics, as I said, because I don't understand them. I'm a bit of a ding-dong. But Sunny explains all that stuff, but it's too much for me. It's just too much. I just don't have time to go and worry about that sort of stuff. That's my goal. I don't want to become a YouTube, tycoon or anything like that. So it's really not, it's neither here nor there for me, really. So yeah, but Yeah, I don't look at my thumbs down. Sometimes some ladies are a little upset because I've gotten thumbs down. Look, there are people, I think, that just, I mean, even songs get thumbs down. So I think there are just people that are, maybe they're paid even to go and do that. They just automatically go and put the thumbs down. I mean, sometimes you get the thumbs down even before anyone could possibly have watched the video. They just see that you've put a video up and they just give you a thumbs down straight away. I think that's what happens anyway. It doesn't really concern me. I've mentioned it before. I might thank those who give me a thumbs down, because YouTube don't care whether you give me a thumbs down or a thumbs up. They see any form of activity on a channel as a bonus. They just see it as activity, and so they promote you even more because you've got activity. So as Jessica Rapp once put it, the people thumbs downing are actually doing you a favor. So don't get fixated on it. It doesn't matter. I don't look at how much time people are watching my videos or they're not watching. It doesn't matter. People don't have time. They might have to fast forward it. Sometimes I fast forward videos. Sometimes they've got the process and they just need to go to the end and see the end product. You know, it's not a big issue whether, you know, obviously if there's a, you know, like if you're doing an upsy update, I'll blame it on the antihistamine. I have to take another one today because otherwise it won't get better too. So I'll be really, tomorrow will be even worse. I'll be like a slug. Oh no, I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, obviously Etsy updates and those sorts of things, they're not such, you know, well, for some people they might be curious to know, but they're not the same as tutorials or craft with me's. You'll get a lot more views on a craft with me. So I don't worry about that stuff. It's just not, it's not a concern. It's just watch what you want. You don't have to watch everything. It's just not a concern. You know, I'm just here doing my thing, what I want to do, and if people like it, they do, and if they don't, move on. Ship on out. So, yeah, I think that you shouldn't worry about your statistics and that sort of stuff, because my goal is not to have 10 million followers. I would never, even in my wildest dreams, did I ever think I would even get to, I thought like literally it would take me 10 years to get to 1,000 followers. So, you know, I feel very lucky and I'm not going to say blessed, but I do feel very lucky. And I thank everybody very, very much. Well, really on a roll today. Really on a roll. Let's blame the poor antihistamines. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing, you might say? Did you notice that subconsciously, I've just noticed now, did you notice that subconsciously all of my butterflies are going up lately? They've decided to go up, not down. They're not going down, they're going up. However, there are no flowers here. So if there were flowers, they might be going down, because I like them to fly into the flowers like bees do. I might like that one. Determined to put a what do you call them? A label. I can't even remember their names. Haven't used them for a while. There's some stamps. Like the stamps too. I haven't used any stamps for a while. What about a stamp? Now which way is that? I guess that one. Oh, I like the stamp more.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes?
I asked Sophie after my exam, since maybe we're going to the swimming pool, she wanted to come. Since she's got quite a few days to study, she might.
And she's been studying for a month.
Yeah. So I asked her, and she asked me if I was doing the abbonamento or not.
Well, if you're going to go, yes, you can.
Said that maybe I was going to do the thing that she did last year.
Well, there is no abbonamento. There's only that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But if you're going to go, yes, we'll do it for you. If you're not, if you're going to be like you were last year, I don't want to go. I want to stay home. I want to stay home with you, Mummy.
I like staying home with you.
I know you do. I'm just teasing you. I'm in a bit of a funny mood today.
Yeah, a bit in a funk.
I'm not in a funk. I had to have an antihistamine last night. Do you know what that is? An antihistaminico. Because I have like a irritation on my fingers. Sorry guys, you have to listen to again because I have to explain to Lulu. All the, you know, in the summer when I get those itchy bumps on my fingers, well, they were on lots of fingers, and they were like turning into blisters yesterday. Oh. And so I said, it's an allergy kind of like to the heat. Oh. I suffer the heat. You don't like the heat? I don't like the heat. I don't like the heavy, humid heat. Yeah, I don't like it. And so I had to have one of Daddy's antihistamines, and the problem with antihistamines is they make you sleepy. Like you feel drugged, kind of. You feel like really, not drugged as in bad drugs, drugged in as if like you've had lots of medicine or something. Makes you feel tired. Like Daddy's always like heavy. It makes you feel heavy, and your brain's not connecting, and so that's how I'm feeling today. My eyes are heavy, and and I know, and I let it rip to you, and I felt really bad about that. I really did. I really felt bad about that. I actually cried in here, Lulu. Really? Yes. Oh, yeah. I didn't want to upset you, Lulu. Poor Lulu. She was sobbing because I came in and I let it rip. I'm such a bad mummy. Well, it got to go. Oh, that bird kind of matches the one on the front. I'm going to put that on the back. There you go. Will I post this video or not? Because it's a bit of a loony video. Sorry, guys. Please forgive me. And in your forgiveness, be nice about it. Right. I like that. I do love these papers. Okay, so I did put a stamp on Sherry. The stamp's for you. I didn't put a label, I put a stamp. I really like that inside. Now I'm going to make two things. Like you don't have to make things necessarily to go inside. For example, well, we're going to do it because I think it'll be nice. For example, all you can do is, it's just like musical chairs. All you can do is, for example, turn this into a little journaling. It's not cut very well. I can see it's crooked. Oh, good. So I'm going to, oh, wrong way. I'm going to put this, even though it doesn't cover it totally, I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to then put something else to patch up that bit there. So hopefully I remember to put all my links below. Oh, what links did I? Oh, I wanted to put Fiona J's link down. And I don't remember the name of the lovely lady that, I think I follow her. I might follow her. That did this beautiful little project. But she totally decorated it different to me. I am taking the idea for her base. But I'm not doing the same decoration as her. Let's just say that. Let's put it out there. Okay, and then I need to put something here. Oh, what? Oh, well, there you go. Oh, that would have been good on the back. Well, I'll keep that for another one. And I'm not going to put that. Got all kinds of things flying around. You'd think I'd be able to make decisions much faster than I do. So that's no good. What about if I put this nice piece here? That's kind of weird, isn't it? Put a little bit of something else there. Got a whole tray of stuff here that I can use. What's the front like? No. Oh, I could use a bit of that. Why don't I put a little bit of this? Even though you can't write on it really, I'd only be putting a strip of it. Okay, and then I need to go and prepare lunch after this. I'm doing my video early today because I'm normally more tired in the afternoon, and so you wouldn't be listening to me so perky. Okay. I wish I was made of stone. I really wish I would like to be made of stone. That way things wouldn't irk me. Although tomorrow I will have forgotten about it. Okay. At least, Tina, you can take heart. You're not the only one. I think we all get them. Gayle gets them. I've sometimes turned to Gayle for advice. How does she handle? And she's given me good advice. It's just hard to follow sometimes. So yeah, anyway, okay, that's that one. So that one I'm going to stitch around that, but that one will slip in there, and it's got the pretty matching sort of papers on the back. So what I was my whole point before was you don't have to make a tag every time. You can put in, let's stitch around it now. Oh my, I've got my garbage bin under my feet, which is a great idea. So I'll just stitch around this one. And this one's just a little journaling spot. And that can pop in there. Now I'm just having a thought. Another cool idea for this little thingy-majiggy here. First of all, you could put a little seal on, and it could be like a pretty little happy mail. Second of all, you could not decorate the back of it, and you could make it a tuck, and then it can open out like that. That would be really cool. I might have to do one of those to remind myself. Maybe I won't make a tag for this. How many minutes have I been? Am I even recording? Oh, I am recording. Only 36 minutes, so I do have time. If the design comes to me. So so basically what I would do, if I were to have a journal here, but I don't, but I had some pages somewhere, I don't know where I put them. Let me just grab, well, I'll just grab a book page. Just say this is in my journal. This is a page in my journal. I would attach it here, and that would be a tuck spot behind, and then it would be attached here and here, and it would open out like so. How pretty would that be? Love that. Love that. If I've made it with a book page base, I wouldn't necessarily put it onto the same book page. That's all. That's a point too. Why don't we do it with rather than making another tag, because you've seen me make tags a million times, why don't I grab a piece of paper. I'm just standing up here. I'm going to grab a piece of paper, and I don't know what paper. I'll just grab this folder here. I've got lots of things in here. In my collage sheets, I've got some doilies. I should get those out because I'm running out of doilies and I haven't been using them. Now I might need this piece here, not that piece. I might need this piece here. You never know. And I just want to grab a decorated piece of paper that's slightly sturdier, not printed on copy paper. Oh, what's Medieval Mirage doing in there? And that's Tracy. I wanted to do some more of those. Isn't that lovely? But it's going the wrong way. Don't want it to go that way. I want a piece of this. I think I'll use a piece of this. This is printed on. It's a nice base to use, and I'm going to make a biggish one. Make a bigger one. So, what? Yes, of course. Of course you should. Lisa's doing the exam today, the poor thing. Today's the first day of oral interrogation. So they have to do a presentation, and oh, the poor things, PowerPoint and all the subjects, and it's not so bad doing the presentation, I think, because they kind of what they had to do was choose a theme and then connect it to all their subjects, well, as many subjects as they can, pertaining to what they've studied throughout the year. So Lulu has chosen Australia, obviously, because she has obviously a strong connection to Australia, and so she's well, she obviously connected it to English because we speak English in Australia, obviously, and so she's going to start off with English and just talk about, you know, like our family, like where did they come from, their origins and all that sort of thing. And then she's going to move on to, let me remember, what was next? Geography. So she kind of then moved on from there, like what sort of itinerary would you have if you were to go to Australia, and and you like the time, you know, the time difference and that sort of thing. So first of all, what I want to do is just collage all of this bit here before I start doing all my folding. And I thought I might put some of this in there, and I'm going to glue it down really well. So I need my scissors. I just want to trim it off. I probably don't need, I'll get back on track with about Lulu in a second. I don't want to, I'll keep that strip because you never know, I can use that. So yeah, so then she's moving on, she's doing all of that, saying some of the places that you can visit, and then she goes on to geography, and she's just going to talk about the fact that Australia is an island, and that's why we have so many native animals that are only in Australia, and she's going to show some of the different, and also that the fact that there's a huge variety of climates in Australia, and lots of habitats for the animals, different habitats. So that's another reason why you get such a wide variety of animals and that sort of thing. And then she's going to finish off with the habitat of the Great Barrier Reef, and then she's going to talk about the box jellyfish. As you know, it's the most poisonous thing in the world, and that brings her to science because they've studied. It's really cool. Her friend gave her the idea to do this because she was wondering, you know, like, I mean, of course we could have found something for her to connect with science, but with Australia, but I thought this was a great idea. Her friend suggested snakes. Why don't you, because they studied all of the respiratory system, the circulatory system, the immune system, all this sort of thing in the body. Her friend said, why don't you sort of talk about the poisonous snakes in Australia and then say what effect do they have on the body. And so anyway, but then she was finishing with the Great Barrier Reef, and I said to her, well, not that the box jellyfish is necessarily on the Great Barrier Reef, but it's up the coast up there, more near the shore, not near the Barrier Reef, as far as I understood. I said, well, why don't you just do the box jellyfish and what effect it has on the body. So then we found this really cool documentary. It's called The Nature of Science. They're on YouTube. We actually watched it on YouTube. It's very, very quick, sort of 8-minute sort of documentary. It showed exactly what all of the different poisons, what they affect in the body. It was really, 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 really interesting, cool sort of little video, and so that's perfect. It really does tell her. So she's got that down pat. It's very interesting, and she's got the link to the video, and they can because it's in English, they can put it you know, with no volume, and she can tell the professors if they want to watch it, because it's kind of gruesome. I'll remind her that she must ask them if they want to watch it, because it's kind of gross. I had to cover my eyes for a bit of it, as you can imagine. So yeah, so she's doing the only 3 subjects she wasn't able to connect, only because, like, her art history teacher, like, she could easily connect, like, one of the movements they've done in art in the earlier in the century sort of thing. She could easily connect one of those to Australia, but no, her prof wanted her to do something else, like talk about a particular artwork, so she had to choose this particular artwork, so she's going to do that. So that she's doing that at the end, and then she wasn't able to connect. Instead, for technology, her prof was really nice. He gave her a whole lot of information about renewable sources of energy, and he'd found this study from the Melbourne University about how Australia, I don't know at what point it is now, because it was talking about what's her name, Julia Gillard, when she was Prime Minister, so it was a while ago, the article, but basically at that time Australia is one of the few countries that really has a huge possibility of having renewable sources of energy, but we only use like 10% of them, and 90% of our energy comes, at that time, I don't know if it's changed now, was coming from, you know, carbon and gas and that sort of thing. So it's an article about that, so that's good, and he was very nice to give that to Lulu. Yeah, so she's studying. But she's not nervous, and I'm more nervous about it than she is. And so I had to sort of get her going this morning, because she was sort of lying around looking at a telephone. and it really irked me. But she's onto it now, so that's good. And anyway, her poor friend is she's today, and so she's had much less time to study because they do a few each day. They do 8 kids a day. And Lulu's class is the first class, and her friend is, and they've decided to do the class alphabetically. And so her friend's mum came over last night so that I could, yesterday evening, so I could check her English, because she had quite a lot of errors in there. Wasn't right, so I had to sort of fix it for her, and she's really in a panic, the poor thing. Really feel for her. So anyway, I'm hoping. The problem is they have this big presentation, but then they could even be asked on the subjects, you know, from during, like the different things from during the year. Now this is quite, I'm finding this more of a struggle. This is really thick because this was on cardstock. So this is really thick, and I can't see my bone folder anywhere at this moment to be able to smooth it all out. Oh, there it is, it's under. Oh, it's a huge pile of stuff. Just a second, got it. That might help me. So yes, obviously this is on cardstock is not advisable. It would have been better. In this case, it would have been better on. I should have taken one of the ones just on copy paper, I think, because I've actually glued on top of it. So now it's very stiff, very, very stiff, I might say. Oh, did a good job there. Very stiff. I'm going to trim that bit off there. Don't want that. Okay, so that's that. So this could actually even, this is so stiff, this could even be a journal cover. This could really be a journal, little mini journal. So let me just see if I can trim this off. I could just put it in my cutter and trim it off really easily. And then really all I need to do is collage a little bit here and on the back if I wanted to, and make some things to go inside, and it's done. I mean, if you wanted to, you could fold that in there, and then it just, you wouldn't have that. But I actually quite like that that opens, even though that's sort of a kind of pointless flap, but you could write across there. That's what I'm thinking. So I might stitch around this one, and that'll be, actually I'm going to stitch around the whole thing because I want my bits of paper to stay together. And once I stitch down this sort of crease here, that'll stay down more. I probably should have stitched across the top there as well, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, I probably won't finish this on the video. I might finish it off video, otherwise it'll be a 2-hour video. And then I'll just post the photographs on Instagram. And I stitch down the center so I don't have a gaping pocket there when I fold it. And also just sort of helps the crease. So now I need to go along here a bit with this to really get it going. Kind of reminds me of that one that I did a while ago that I need to make more of with the doors. That I said they were like medieval doors because I was using the medieval mirage papers. So that is really a fun little project. So that's that one. I think I'll end the video here because we're at 49 minutes. I won't decorate the front. But just to give you an idea of how it can look using something different. So this was the A4 trimmed down just a tiny bit. Paper's too thick for that one, just so learn from my mistake. This is book page, and I think the thickness of this once it's collaged is perfect, and you can make really pretty little projects. So thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to me have a whinge today. tomorrow will hopefully be a better day, although I'm taking another antihistamine today, so goodness. Steffi said take it during the day, but I don't know if he remembered to leave them. I think he's taken them up to work, so I'll probably be bodgy tomorrow as well. So I apologise to anyone who's offended by my video, and I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.